January 18, 2003. Temperatures soared to 40 degrees and winds were gusting at nearly 60 kilometres an hour. At noon, a huge wildfire broke containment lines and raced towards the city, catching authorities and residents completely unprepared. In just 3 hours, the city lost 500 houses and 4 people perished. One of the reasons the Canberra fires wreaked such a large toll is because the fires are very big and, of course, there's only so many firemen and trucks to go around. If there was some technology that allowed each fireman to protect more property, many houses and perhaps even some of the lives could have been saved in Canberra. Well, in California, just such a technology is being developed. And it should not only help fire brigades save more property, you can buy it yourself and actually use it to save your own home. With around 1,000 fires every year, California is a leader in firefighting technology. And their latest weapon in the firefighting arsenal is a new kind of gel that can stop fire right in its tracks. In Southern California, it's already been used to save hundreds of homes, and experiments are underway to see whether it can quell wildfires from the air. Chief Clyde Chittenden has been at the forefront of trialling the product in the field. He first came across it during a fire in San Diego in 2002.
The first time gel showed up, we had one of these companies show up and say, we have some stuff that we think can help you. So we probably did about 100 to 125 homes on that fire. And as it turned out, we had fire run into the yards, but literally would hit this product and go out. So I'm going, okay, I'm impressed. Let's look into this a little more.
What he discovered was an incredibly heat-resistant product. How's this for proof? The can on the right has been covered in the gel. The flame is 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, over 1,000 degrees Celsius. The cola boils and evaporates in the untreated can before the aluminium melts before your eyes. Think that's impressive? Check this. The stick without gel shows what would happen to a wooden window frame if the gel wasn't applied. It's put to the flame. The gel protected the stick. Now, watch this.
Even with a 2,000 degree flame coming from the other side, I was easily able to leave my hand there and really didn't experience any discomfort at all. Had I actually had my hand over here unprotected, that 2,000 degree torch literally would have incinerated my hand off the end of my arm in a very short period of time. The gel that we had on the glass, which is still nice and moist even after all that heat, provided me that thermal protection that my hand really didn't feel any heat or discomfort at all.
Here's a simple way of understanding how the gel works. Water has been the way we've protected our houses from fires for years. Hose the place down, it's much more difficult to burn. The trouble with water is that it evaporates very easily. That's where the gel comes in. The gel is actually made up of these super absorbent granules of polymer, plastic. And just watch this. You drop what? A teaspoonful, a bit more, into that bucket of water. Give it a stir. Okay, it's starting to thicken up. Now look at that. Just that handful of granules has sucked up that entire bucket of water. So when you're spraying your house with this gel, you're actually spraying it with mainly water that doesn't evaporate away. It stays wet for hours. Legend has it, the way they discovered the gel is with one of these, a disposable nappy. Firemen went to the scene of a fire and found a nappy unburnt and wondered why. Well, of course, disposables have highly absorbent gel in them. So one of these, full of baby's wee, which is mainly water, is very difficult to burn. Conventional fire retardants can protect buildings for up to 20 minutes. But the new gel can create a fireproof barrier for anywhere between 1 and 16 hours. In California, this is revolutionising the way fire brigades can protect homes. The fire brigade simply covers any houses in the line of fire. The gel concentrate is mixed with water from the tanker and easily applied as a light foam through a hose. It takes just 20 minutes to protect one house, making it an incredibly efficient way to fireproof homes.
Before, we traditionally had to leave a fire engine parked right in that driveway to protect that home. Now one fire engine can gel and protect an entire block with just one unit. Therefore, the other fire engines get to move down the road, protect the next neighborhood, and that, quite frankly, is the biggest advantage. Today, ironically, as a bushfire actually burns in the distance, the team is testing the gel for use as a water bomb. The idea being that it can cut off the advance of a raging fire. Whenever we have fire on one side of a highway, as an example, and the other side is unburned, what we call still green, then we can actually deploy gel on that green unburned side of the highway to keep the fire from spotting across the highway, thus limiting the spread. Just as for the houses, the gel works by prolonging the firefighting properties of water for much longer than if just water was sprayed on the ground. It also stops the water from evaporating when dropped from the air. Studies indicate the gel retardant has minimal environmental impact. It either washes off in the next rain or flakes off with exposure to UV light. The gel is so effective that the only real problem is whether fire crews have time to spray before the fire front hits. In remote areas, you can buy a gel pumping system and apply it yourself. As well as shielding your home, you can use the gel to protect your vehicle and even create a safe haven if you ever get caught in the line of fire. Once the fire is passed, you simply wash off the foam with water. After 2 years of trials, Chief Chittenden is convinced that the super-absorbent gels will play a big role in firefighting in the future. Literally anything you put it on, will not burn. And again, it's not anything really magical in that it's just making the absolute best use of keeping the water molecule where it belongs to keep things cool so that they won't burn. Houseproofing gel is currently being carried by wildland fire brigades in Southern California, while the aerial use of the gel is being tested in both the USA and Australia.
If you want to buy some of the gel for your house, it's available over the internet. For around $300 US, you should be able to get enough to cover the average family home.